Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you guys another discussion for Dragon Ball Super, and I want to have a conversation with you guys that I think that could be something particularly interesting for the future of the Dragon Ball franchise. So I think we need to discuss whether or not Broly needs to learn God Ki, and the reason why I think we need to have this conversation now is that Goku and Vegeta, they've already reached a point now to where they're clearly masters of God Ki, and both of them are now in a situation where Vegeta's training under Beerus and he's learning God of Destruction type techniques, and you have Goku training with Whis and he's learning to actually use Ultra Instinct in his base. So they've moved past God Ki mastery and they're taking what they've learned before and they're pushing it to a different level. And so when you look at that, the power gap is going to continue to grow. Well, the reason why I think you need to bring Broly in is that God Ki is now not something to where it's like, oh my god, this is something that has to be exclusive to Goku and Vegeta. This is their calling card. Well, now they've got their own trump cards that they're further developing. And so I think that a character like Broly, who has all this huge potential and was essentially fighting very raw against Goku and Vegeta and doing very good against them in their god forms, I think that having that character, after allowing him to train on his own on planet Vampa, after unlocking Super Saiyan, potentially unlocking other Super Saiyan transformations after the fact, because Broly, if you really look at how he fought during the Broly movie, yes, he was a bit raw, but the fact that Broly was able to essentially learn how to fight as he was fighting and fighting against somebody who is a very technically skilled fighter in Vegeta and fight against somebody who's a genius in Goku when it comes to martial arts, the fact that he was able to adapt and keep up with them, that shows you on a certain level Broly himself is a fighting prodigy in of his own right. And so if Broly's actually learned to master that power that's inside of him, allowing him the opportunity to learn God Ki, actually go through that training, and then learn how to tap into those higher levels of power where you're taking the God Ki and then you're transforming into a Super Saiyan on top of that. I think that that could be something to where obviously Broly's going to be absolutely broken, but at the same time what you have to look at is that Goku and Vegeta have gotten a lot stronger since the events of Broly the movie, and I don't care what amount of training that Broly's done during that time. Goku's at the point where he's starting to master Ultra Instinct in his base, and so Goku, that's opening up a whole nother level of power because Goku's going to have access to his other transformations on top of having mastery of Ultra Instinct. Vegeta is learning God of Destruction type of techniques. Broly's being left in the dust at this point. Now, I know this is a situation where people are saying, well, Goku's the main character, he can't be surpassed by other people. That's happened in Dragon Ball. Goku's not always been the strongest person in the main cast. If you're somebody that has just watched the Z portion of the series, I can see why you're actually saying that. But if you go back to Dragon Ball, Goku, there were other people introduced into that main cast who became more powerful than Goku. And so I think this would be a nice little calling card to something like that. But also this could be a situation where, let's say Broly gets all this power. Let's say he acquires God Ki, and then because of what Goku is learning to do, if you want to keep that character the strongest character in that main cast, that's still something right there. That's still something right there that's in Goku's back pocket because he still has that Master Ultra Instinct transformation that he can tap into. So I think that that is something safe right there. But given the events with the Granola arc and everything going on at this point, I think that that could be something to where if Granola gets revealed to be even stronger than Broly is, and Goku and Vegeta aren't able to take him down, they're not going to fuse. That's not something they're going to do because they don't like doing it. I think this could be something to where maybe you allow Broly to tap into that God Ki, and then you also, by extension, by doing that, you continue the whole desire for Goku and Vegeta to get stronger simply for the fact that that's introducing yet another rival for the two of them. That is something that kind of work right there. That's something I think could bring out a bit of a boost for the characters in the main cast, and I think that we're at a point now to where God Ki's been around in the fandom long enough that it doesn't have to be exclusive to Goku and Vegeta now. Now you can start giving God Ki to other characters. You just can't make it like Super Saiyan where every single Saiyan got God Ki. I think that you can get away with giving it to one more character, allow them to train to learn it, while somebody like Piccolo or one of the humans learning God Q would be something that I think would be a better narrative situation, because it brings those characters up from obscurity to being somewhat relevant because of what the boost of God Key is. But I think that taking somebody like Broly and elevating Broly, that's something that works. And let's be real, from a marketing standpoint, imagine if you have a Super Saiyan God version of Broly that you're able to make merchandise for. That's gonna sell like hotcakes. The same thing if you have a Super Saiyan Blue version of Broly. That's gonna sell like fucking crazy. So that is something to kind of play with and kind of toy with. From a marketing standpoint, that is something that works. Dragon Ball is a franchise first and foremost that has to make money, but narratively I think that that opens up the greatest door. Now, one other aspect going forward is that I think that by giving Broly this opportunity, it also allows the character Broly to be brought into the main cast. Now, whether or not he's going to stay there permanently, that's a different discussion, because if he's part of that main cast, at some point he has to actually leave, because we're in a situation where we're counting down to the end of Z, which is, in my opinion, yet another reason why we need to actually be in a situation where we go past the end of Z. That way there's more freedom with the actual writing, because right now you're kind of just hampered into, you have to keep the characters in line with where they ultimately end up by the time we get to Dragon Ball chapter 520. But I think that this is something to where this kind of makes more sense for the character Broly, because there's only so many different ways it can go. So what if Broly gets Super Saiyan 2 or 3? Unless you do something to where Broly unlocks another form of Super Saiyan that continues beyond what you saw with Super Saiyan 3, and you see another version of 4, maybe you see Akira Toriyama's drawing a Super Saiyan 4 be something that Broly actually accesses. Unless Broly is going to be the representation of what a Saiyan's power could be if they naturally kept progressing. So basically, if Goku and Vegeta never trained under Whis and Goku continued to train and unlock another transformation, unless you have that be the route that goes, and you have basically a representation of the 3 different types of powers in Dragon Ball represented in the 3 strongest Saiyans. So you have Goku learning the power of the angels in Ultra Instinct, you have Vegeta learning the God of Destruction abilities from Beerus, and then you have Broly just be the representation of a mortal acquiring the peak power of their race. I think unless you do something like that, which that could work narratively, unless you do something like that, I think God Key is the most natural progression you can kind of take for the Broly character. However, I want to know from you guys, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.